Now I wanted to throw this out there before we actually get in the video. I wanted to throw out a little shout out to my buddy KTS News and Politics. He does news and politics. As you can see here, he does a wide variety of topics. He's more, on the news and explaining side of thing. He's not as much with the jokes. He's more like digging in and kind of getting into it and unpacking the subjects. So check him out. He's worth a watch. He's always been cool with me. I've known the guy for years. He's trying to make it like all of us. And check him out.
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at...
Hello!
So, I'm not happy to make this video, but I think my problem is that I need to make this video. If that makes sense to you. I do my best thinking out loud. And, I don't want to sit here and talk to myself, because I started sitting here talking to myself, trying to work this out, and I start coming up with really good points, and I'm like, I'm going to forget all these by the time I make the video. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it raw. We're doing it live! Do it live! Alright. Was that Bill O'Reilly? Fuck, I don't even know. I'll have to look that up, because that's funny. Yeah. So... I'm not happy to be making this because it's just like I thought it was gonna be more exciting than all that, but it really isn't. Like, at the end of the day, I think what it is just people have become arrogant without cause. You know what I mean? Like, no, fuck that. People have become more arrogant, less confident. You know what I mean? Does that make more sense? I think that makes more sense. Confidence is when you have skill and you know it. Right? Arrogance is when you just think you know everything. And people have become so arrogant. And, like, we've hit a point where creativity seems to be more or less stagnant to nothing. Our music is now shit. Everything that comes out is just shit. It's written on like a 3rd grade fucking level. The only thing I ever like new songs for now is the beat. I could give a shit less about any fucking thing else involved in it. Or else it's just catchy, or it's a fun, lyric to sing in one part. But other than that, I could give a fuck less about the song. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there aren't any really... Tool. It's all still coming up with great shit. And I think that's why they probably won the, what was it, a Grammy they won for fucking one of their new songs, a 12-minute damn near total instrumental or whatever. I haven't even heard the song yet. That's another thing I gotta remember to do. Fuck. But, like, our creativity is pretty much shot. The best movies that we're able to come up with now are retooled comic book adventures. That's the height of entertainment in our culture. Like, it's just... If you would have asked Robert Downey Jr. in the 80s, you think you're going to play Iron Man someday and it's going to be the biggest thing in the world, he probably would have said, the comic book character? They're never going to make a movie about Iron Man. Dude, we've become stagnant intellectually. because our creativity is just kaputs. We're going out of an age of art. I mean, think about it. The 80s, man, like the arts all around have just been fucking rocking it for a long time. And I think we're going into more of an intellectual period. That seems to become more of the entertainment now. Politics. And debate. Throwing around ideas. But it's like, when that happens, it kind of dictates the future of things. The Age of Enlightenment brought around all this fucking science we got. And now it's like, we evolve and we adapt. I mean, if you really think about it, it is entirely possible that we could full-on, full-to-it boogie terraform this world. No plants, no animals, none of that shit. I honestly think it's entirely possible that we could mechanize this world. And I think that the idea of that terrifies people. Because it's like, at that point, we would have well and truly destroyed pretty much what this planet was kind of meant to be. If you don't figure that maybe that was what this planet was meant to be. I mean, there's just a reality to it. We totally could do it. Like, I honestly think we could. I think with enough ingenuity and enough, fuck it, that's just gonna be the way we survive, I honestly think that we could just mechanize this world. Just pave the whole fucking thing over and just figure out a way to automate all of the natural functions of the world and just make it work in that way. Do the oceans really need to hold the water? We can't put it in reservoirs that just fucking deal with that shit. Do we really need sea life that isn't just kind of grown for our purposes? You know what I mean? How much will it really destroy this planet if we just paved it all over and just utterly controlled every aspect of it? It would be a major undertaking. It would have to be a worldwide thing. But I honestly think we could do it. We've pretty much done it everywhere that's land. We fight so hard to protect the environment. Why? Because we don't really need it. We could create machines that'll give us fucking oxygen. Are you shitting me? Fuck yeah, we could do it. We could create scrubbers for the fucking air and just have giant fucking machine air scrubbers that just give us air all the time. It'd be like fucking Total Recall. It was fucking Mars. Dude, we could do it. Like, we could totally do it. And I think the idea of that could possibly become the world, I think on a visceral level, terrifies some people. And the fact that the universe is fucking massive and unknowable. And it works off of physics that we are in the, like, I think infancy. Like you normally you'd say like we're in the infancy of it, but dude, I don't even think we met the bitch yet. Like we're just beginning to actually understand the space between us and the moon, and like that just that far. We don't know fucking shit about anything else. We've got a whole lot of really reasonable ideas. But we got a lot more to study. We got a lot of other shit to learn. We're still learning things every day. We've just recently got our first like halfway decent picture of a black hole. And yeah, I know, it's a big orange ring, and that doesn't make any sense. Obviously, that's photoshopped. Yeah, you can see it. And like, so we've just finally seen our actual halfway decent picture of what we think is a black hole. And it's like, that's what we think is a black hole, only because it's a big black hole that seems to be sucking everything in. Black hole, yeah, whatever. That's just what it, yeah. That's the best thing we have. That's the best shit we got. Because we don't know enough. We're not in the infancy of discovering this universe. We haven't met the bitch yet. We're still getting ready to go on the date. Like, and I mean like we're still fucking around playing video games all nervous because we still got fucking 20 more minutes until I gotta start getting ready. Like that's where we're at with exploring our universe. But we know one thing for absolutely sure. The Earth is round. Like, it's been proven so many ways, and we have so many pictures. And yes, I know they're photoshopped, but it's so that you can better understand it. Like, sometimes you need to accentuate shit so that you can see it. Like, it's kind of like using night vision photography, right? You could just be a purist and film in the dark, but you're not going to see anything. So, Paris Hilton needed night vision so that we could see her creepy glowing eyes. It looked like she's really fucking demonic, sucking this dick, you know. We needed the night vision. I went my phone. We needed the night vision for that, right? We needed to Photoshop it, brighten it up a little bit so that we could see what was going on. Right? You're not going to say that shit's not real because it's photoshopped, right? Because it had a filter, right? Like, you're not going to be like, oh, it's fake because it had a filter laid over it. Really? Yeah. So, yeah. Sometimes you use Photoshop for more than just making fake stuff, right? Like, you do understand that. Like, the whole point of Photoshop wasn't to just make fake stuff. It was to make real shit look cooler. It's been proven so many ways. But the fact that we still know so little is a wedge big enough that people that are just terrified of that can figure out a different way. And really kind of make it make sense if you don't ask the obvious questions. You know? So, right? And Donald Trump is such an amazingly prick of a man. He is. If you get on his bad side, oh doggy, you're in for it. He will fuck with you. And he doesn't fucking care. But the thing that I've noticed every single time is that Donald Trump is always responding to somebody else. It goes back to the joy thing. Believe it or not. with Joy and my sponsor. Joy and all her Joy people, they just hated my sponsor and wanted me to drop her. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to give me a damn good reason. And they sent me a whole bunch of messages that my sponsor had sent to them. And I read them, and I said, what am I supposed to think of this? And they're like, you see what an asshole she is? And I'm like, well, every single one of them in the context of what I'm reading, like it's a text taken totally, it's just, here it is, this is this message. Okay? And like, I don't know what it's responding to. I don't know what brought this about. I don't know where in the conversation this even is. Like, I have no context here. All I have is this one thing. And I have to look into the wording of this one thing to try and figure out the spirit in which it is delivered. It's the only context I have. And every time I see my sponsor clapping back at some shit. I never saw her starting the argument. It was always, I could tell it was in response to some. I can understand context enough to know when something is in response to something else. You know what I mean? Especially if you're just going to take one fucking text out of obviously a conversation. You know? Like, it's not that easy with me. So, you can't just go, but he said pussy. Like, he just grabbed pussy. And I'm like, yeah. And I heard what he said before that. And I heard what they were saying before that even. And I saw them getting off of a bus and having a private fucking dude conversation where Donald Trump is obviously just being overly Donald Trump, you know, and just bragging about all the pussy he gets. Because she's fucking rich. When you're rich and famous, pussy. You know what I mean? Like, if I was rich and famous, you know what I would be talking about? All the time I spent playing the video games that I finally wanted to play. Like, I'd be like, oh, dude, I fucking beat Deadpool finally. And I'd talk about that, and we'd be getting off of it going, yeah, it was fucking great. I love that fucking game, man. Deadpool's sweet. And then everybody would play that and be like, he likes Deadpool. And that's a fucked up movie. Yeah. It's the best you got on me. Right? Like, but that's what I'm into. Apparently Donald Trump and Billy Bush are into getting pussy. I'm into getting pussy too. You know? But it wouldn't dominate my life like that. But Donald Trump has had, what, 25 wives? And every one of them more beautiful than the last. You know what I mean? He surrounds himself with beautiful women. Constantly. He was running fucking Miss America. Or Miss Universe, or whatever the fuck it was. Like, that was Donald Trump. Like, he fucking ran that shit. So yeah, it didn't bother me to hear Donald Trump saying he likes to grab pussy. Because I gotta admit, I kind of like grabbing pussy. You know, it's always consensual when I do. But I enjoy it. You know, I'll admit it. I enjoy grabbing a pussy here and there. When I can. You know. But it's not every time an opportunity presents itself. It's like, hey, you're a woman. Like, that's not how I greet people. And that's how people took that statement. That's how he shakes hands with women. He grabs them by the pussy. No, he's not assaulting every fucking woman he walks past. But you make this fantasy world up. And it's just filled with your greatest fears. And you have to figure out a way to create for yourself a safe environment amongst all your fears. And that's ultimately kind of what I'm coming to realize the situation is. It's mass delusion. Like, I thought it was going to be something really unique and interesting and fucking inspired, but it's just, it's mass delusion. That's all it is. It's a massive worldwide scale. Like, when we finally figure, like, when everybody kind of finally figures this out and gets to a point where we can talk about it, you know? And, like, papers can be done about it. Papers are going to be done about this shit. The mass delusion that was Orange Man bad, or Flat Earth, or whatever. Fucking 20 fucking 18 feminism. You know what I mean? Like, just the it's a mass delusion. That's all it is. And no, what kind of brought me to this conclusion? I probably should have started with this. That wound up being a 21-minute intro, but we'll just continue on with the fucking video. Like we're just starting it right now, though. By the way, that was just some shit I had to work out. Like I said, you know what I mean. So I have one of you folk has become very good friends with me over the years, and every once in a while. She sends me emails that she gets from her father, because she'll send him videos, and then he'll watch them and send a, you know, he doesn't post in the chat. he fucking emails her about it, and then she forwards the emails to me. So I want to read this one to you guys, because this is kind of what really sparked this whole thing off. I'm going to answer the whole thing. No, I'm not. We're 20 minutes in already. I'm not even going to bother to do that shit. I was going to do some fun shit for me, but we're going to skip it. Alright. As to the mental health issue. When Michael Savage wrote his book, Liberalism is a Mental Disorder, I thought it was stupid and silly. Then as I thought about it, I remembered that someone who, as he was growing up, couldn't do cause and effect, was later diagnosed with schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a thought disorder. Can liberals do cause and effect? Nope. So I came to conclude Michael Savage was correct. It has been said that conservatives start with facts and reach conclusions, while liberals start with conclusions and try to sell them as facts. Now, that got me looking into schizophrenia. And parts of it fit, parts of it very much don't. But one thing that kept coming up in my readings on schizophrenia was delusions and delusional thinking. And so I switched gears and started looking into delusions. And, you know, there's mass delusions, you know. And a delusion is when you essentially create reality that's more pleasing than actuality. And you kind of just close yourself off from all resistance to that world not being real. And that's just it. Like, you live in a fantasy world, essentially. And it could be anything. It could be the president is the Antichrist. You know? It could be that the earth is flat. Whatever it is that you can do to make whatever it is that has chased you into a delusion go away, you do that in your head. And that sort of thing can be spread because people are convincing. Like, there's people that are charismatic and there's people that are smart. You know, you can be in a delusion and be a highly intelligent person, and that just makes you dangerous because you're going to sell your delusion other people. And the smarter you are, the easier it is for you to sell your delusion to people. You know? So, because you figure out more and more ways to make it make sense. Like Anita Sarkeesian, I come to find out, is a very smart, very delusional girl. She's you know, she has an answer for everything. Intersectionality and indoctrinated, whatever, institutional, right? She's got an answer for everything because she's smart enough to just come up with an answer for everything. It's all speculative horse shit, and it's all her perception. A boss of mine in a meeting said to kind of close out the meeting. He said, well, you know, folks, perception is reality. So, you know, whatever the fuck point he was making. And I raised my hand. I said, sir, I disagree. Reality is reality. Your perception doesn't make it real just because you perceive it that way. And a lot of times what you perceive isn't actually what's happening because you don't know what's going on. And, like, I was told that I was wrong, and then that was the end of the meeting, and then we all left. And I'm just like... But that, like, dude, that was probably... 10 years ago, maybe longer. And it still sticks with me to this day. Perception is reality. Just what an inaccurate statement that is. Like, for you, yeah, sure. Yeah. Your perception is your reality. Until it's proven wrong by actual reality. When oops. It's 9 o'clock. You know, that's your reality. Your perception is your reality. And we've decided as people now that our perception is reality. Just fuck you. No, you're just wrong. Do more research. Like everybody's got these clever things. I have a degree. Well, that doesn't mean that you can't have a delusion. You can have a master's and still have a fucking delusion. It fits, doesn't it? Like it really answers all the questions. It's kind of like the round earth, you know, model. It answers all the questions. You know? So, I think it's just mass delusion that's just been spread by very charismatic, delusional people who are very smart, and also people who are not delusional but are willing to feed into delusional people's delusions in order to further their own goals. I think Nancy Pelosi's there. I don't think Nancy Pelosi's delusional. Because Nancy Pelosi, man, she tried. She really tried. I feel bad for Nancy now. Like, she's disgusting, so she's getting what she deserves. But I feel bad that this was kind of pushed on her, and I don't know. I guess she just has no real morals. But she saw that the party was just gone from her grasp. You know, a dude that is an independent has twice now gotten to within spitting distance of the fucking presidency, and he's an open socialist. It's done, man. Like, you either join the new socialism party because that's what's coming up. Like, you think the AOCs are done? You think there ain't gonna be fucking 20 of them running in this year? Like, come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. It's a delusion, and more people are falling into it. And the numbers are bolstered by the people who just kind of lean more one way than another, so they just kind of go that way, hoping that it doesn't get that bad. But I know I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of not delusional motherfuckers that are still voting Democrat just because they kind of go that way. So, yeah, it's like Nancy was fucked. There wasn't shit she was gonna be able to do. So she had to either all right, I'm gonna lose everything, or I could just play into everybody's delusion and just pretend like, we apparently Nancy is a go down with the ship type gal, which is respectable in many ways, but she's feeding into delusions, and I think that's disgusting. So we arrive at a problem. How do you deal with people who are suffering from a delusion? That's a toughie, and I don't know. I'm still looking into that, but it doesn't really seem like there's a surefire way. It seems that therapy is one of those things that has to come with it. That's a toughie. Because we have a mass delusion, a couple mass delusions now that, due to the advent of the internet, has spread worldwide. I don't think that anybody quite predicted that someday the internet would open the gateway for mental illness to spread amongst the populace of the world. But, I mean, people can hold one delusion and not hold another. That's how you get people that are, think the leftists are fucking loony, but they also think the earth is flat. They just picked up one delusion without picking up the other. It's how you can get people that think the earth is round, but are leftist loonies. It all depends on which delusion gets sold to you best. You can take a really soft person that's an astrophysicist and sell them leftism, but you're never gonna sell them the earth is flat. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just it comes down to delusions. The internet has allowed a mass delusion to spread globally. And now we have multiples of them. And it's going to be real interesting to see where it goes from there. Because I think, we've already got it with 4chan. People on 4chan have figured out how to start their own delusions and spread them. So when that becomes more common practice, the world's going to become a really fucking interesting place. Hopefully I'm fucking long dead by then.